Hi, this is part 2 of the What is Obama's Game story. At this point, along came Sarah Palin, and you could hear the wind being sucked out of the Obama campaign. But the, quote, liberal media came to his rescue. Who was this woman from Alaska? Where is Alaska anyway? Which of the 57 states is it? And how in the world can anyone from Alaska even dare to run for Vice President of the United States? Forget the fact she is Governor Palin. Then poor Sarah met Charlie Gibson. He looked down his nose and in his best spirit of fair reporting asked Sarah how she felt about the Bush Doctrine. The what? He made her answer seem wrong and out of place, and with disdain. But in fact, she was correct. He was wrong. But still, on national TV, if someone makes you look bad, it can stick. So for some unknown reason, the McCain planner sent her next to see Katie Couric. Another big mistake. Good old fair and balanced Katie asked questions which would even piss you or me off. Like, what do you read? I was waiting for her answer to be, why, we wait for the Sears catalog to come each year and then pass it around to the entire state so they'd all have something to read. But instead, Sarah remained cool and calm and said, lots of magazines. Later, she explained to Sean Hannity in an interview in a nice way why she had made answers the way she did. But if you listen, you could tell she felt insulted by Katie's questions. Then the liberal press really went to work, sent a team to Alaska to dig up any dirt on the entire family, not just Sarah. Now be honest, if anyone went after your family and said things the media said about the Palins, wouldn't you want to punch someone in the mouth? How about someone talking about your mother, your sister, or your brother in that manner? Yeah, that's how I feel too. I know how bad I felt for them. Imagine how they felt. Imagine how her mom and dad felt. And the people up in Alaska to like her. The liberal media at its best. So down went Sarah Palin's ratings. So far, so good for the Messiah. His minions had done their job. But you know, in life, strange things can happen. Along came Joe the plumber and asked a question you and I were not allowed to ask, and the liberal media would never ever think of asking. He said he'd looked into the Obama tax plan, and if he was able to buy the business he worked for now, he would be hit with a big tax bite and not be able to hire people, or maybe not even be able to buy the business. The Messiah was caught off guard and spoke the truth. He told Joe that people like him who own small business had a duty, my words, to help spread the wealth around. Whose wealth? Mine? Yours? Big business? Small business, which created all the new jobs last year? Boy, the Messiah's campaign couldn't have the public knowing about that. So the goon squad went to work again and set out to totally destroy Joe the plumber. That sent a message to all American people. Don't you dare question the Messiah, or you too will be destroyed. Now, to the amazing thing. I kept trying to remember a politician had used the same tactics in the past. Smooth talk, using minions to crush any objections or tough questions. Charismatic, promise anything and everything. Just stand with me against them, and we will change things. And they are the bad ones, racist, nasty, all like George Bush. The Messiah needed someone to blame, to make the American people angry at, and anyone who was like them, and by inference, John McCain. The Messiah was running against the devil and John McCain. The Messiah's campaign and all the liberal media make George Bush sound like the devil. And truthfully, during the last 4 years, I too have questioned where his conservative leanings went. But the tactics the Messiah has been using, I had seen before by the same politician I found. make the people angry and hateful of George Bush and anyone like him, a common enemy. I wondered what has happened to George Bush. He's not the same man who was in office in 2001. And the Messiah's crowd kept saying McCain is just like Bush, and Bush caused everything from Katrina to the financial crisis, the high price of gas, and on and on. What the media won't remind you is that George Bush is not a king. He can approve a military hit in Syria to kill people who are trying to kill us, unlike Bill Clinton, who declined to kill bin Laden when he had the chance. I'm not saying he didn't want to kill bin Laden, but the total intelligence community in the United States did not take seriously the fact that bin Laden had declared war against the United States. Imagine that. You remember the first World Trade Center bombing, the attack on Nicole, the other attacks against us by the Al-Qaeda? And does anyone remember 2006, when the Democrats promised, they guaranteed that if you and I elected them, that we'd be out of Iraq in like 30 days. But you know the old saying about power, once in, that cushy chair sure feels good. Maybe we'll just sit here, except when Nancy Pelosi sent them on vacation when we had a major crisis to deal with. Just let the people in the country stew in this juice for a while. It'll make them more angry at George Bush. Was that part of the game? Maybe the Republicans screwed up during the 6 years they were in office, but the Democrats are worse. In 2 years that they've been in control of the Senate and the Congress, they have done nothing except to keep verbally attacking George Bush. Is that part of the game plan? Check the opinion ratings of Congress. While the people were so entranced with all this, even one TV guy had a chill running up his leg when Obama spoke. Of course, that could be a personal problem. All the major newspapers, NBC, MSNBC, and the other two stations were all under his spell. Oh, he's so beautiful. We, the media, can't allow anyone to ask him embarrassing questions. That would be un-American and nasty. No questions about his past, about his wife, about his friends. Does he have any friends who aren't bad guys? His campaign seems to be more like a poker game than an election. When McCain says one thing, Barack says, I'll see you one and raise you two. I'll give you more. I'll give you more and more and more than McCain will. Well, before you give, you got to get. And where are you going to get it? Good question. Then I heard he's already planning a huge extravaganza for his election, spending about $2 million. Times must not be as bad as the news media claims if Obama can toss around that kind of money. How about George in his hut in Kenya, or his grandmother in a hut too? Would you or me leave our family in those conditions? Seems Messiah might tell you something about how he will treat the Americans, the Democrat socialist style. Now back to the nighttime extravaganza. This will be the second one for him, and it rang a bell in my little brain. So I did some searching on the net, and I found the politician who acted exactly like Obama to get elected, even down to doing an autobiography at such a young age. Obama was 25 when he did that. At age 25, how much has any of us accomplished? Enough to write a book? That spells ego in capital letters, or as Biden would say, a four-letter word, E-G-O. So who was this politician? I'm showing some photos of his nighttime extravaganzas along with pictures of him. Judge for yourselves. Back then it was not called Democrat socialism, it was called National Socialism. So remember the old saying, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. It's your decision come November 4th. Make it wisely. You may not get a second chance. Thank you for watching, and again, may God bless America.